You are not me. Let's stave off any confusion about that right from the start. You are not me and I am not you. We're not each other and we're not the same as each other. So we really shouldn't try to be the same as each other. I wish I could explain this to my children. From time to time they take delight in copying one another or me, imitating everything I do or say, and it's funny for the first minute or so, and then it quite quickly becomes infuriating. As I've read the passages of Acts for the last few days, as Paul is whizzing across the world from town to town, city to city, telling people about Jesus, something struck me. I wanted to be like him, I guess. But it's easy to feel inferior when you read about Paul's life. When you read about all the places he went and all the people he introduced to Jesus. When you read his letters and marvel at his brain. And I was reading, what struck me was this. I am not Paul. I am not called to do the things that Paul was. I don't need to travel from town to town, city to city, standing up in public places and preaching the good news. I don't need to copy him. I shouldn't copy him. Because God has different things in store for me. There's this bit in the middle of Acts 20 where Paul is speaking to the church leaders from the church in Ephesus. And he doesn't say to them, you need to do what I've been doing. You need to go out into the local towns and preach the good news. Share with new people about Jesus. Paul instructs those church leaders to be good shepherds, to take care of the people in the church that they oversee. Now, Paul's task might be the one we know loads about. His might be the glamorous one as he spread the good news. But their task, the elders of the church in Ephesus, to care, to shepherd, was no less important than Paul's. It was no less difficult. It still had a huge impact on that church. I sometimes talk to other people about their preaching to try and help them to reflect and think about how they can continue to work on that particular gift. And there's always a danger when you do this sort of thing that I might just tell them how I do it. Sometimes I do that. But the problem is, the end result shouldn't be lots of people who all preach the same way I do. The best sort of help that I can give them is not to turn them into preachers like me. It's to help them preach more like them, in their own style, from their own perspective. We are not all the same. God has not called us to do all the same things. I'm the only one that is called to be a husband to Vicky and a father to Caleb and Faith. So none of you should try and do those things, the things that I am called to. You need to do what God is calling you to do. You need to learn to thrive where he has put you, with the people in your life right now, in the situation you find yourself. Looking to other people and wishing we could be more like them, be in their situation, is futile. Not only doesn't it help, but it distracts us from what God is calling us to do and to be, what he's made us to do, where he has placed us. So why not spend some time today thinking about where you are? Think about the people you see regularly, the tasks you do each day or each week. Ask God how you can serve him exactly where he has placed you. Stop worrying about how other people are following Jesus and focus on your own walk with him.